Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm sorry I'm a little late. I should have let you guys know, but I was trying to get everything set up. I was in a rush, so I apologize. But I am here now, and I plan on taking some time to go over the market with you guys. So, as people show up, I'm sure you guys will have questions. So, I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you guys have. I'll be more than happy to answer anything. Like I said, ask me anything about the market right now. The market is a little unstable at the moment, I would say. There's still a lot of room to be, or we still have a lot of ground to recover, so to speak. We'll go over that a little deeper throughout the live today. I'm going to open my blinds. Give me just a second. I thought it was a little brighter outside. I was just trying to increase the light in the room. But anyways, it's not that bad. It's not like you guys need to see me anyways. But the market has been on a little bounce lately, and I can't say I haven't been impressed. But we still have a lot of ground to regain in order to appease the Bulls. The Bulls are on a roll right now, but we're not at the point where FOMO is going to overtake the market. We have a lot of the path of least resistance is still down. That's what Ernie always taught me. What is the path of least resistance? So the odds are in the favor of the Bears still at this moment. Now, what do we have in our favor at this time? Hey, what's up, buddy? It's nice to see you first. I can see your name too, ALN, bro, but I don't know exactly who you are. Can you tell me your name? Um, but the market has been surprisingly bullish, and I thought we might dip a little farther before we got the bounce. But that doesn't mean that we're out of the woods yet. We have a lot of ground to retake. The cloud, we have to retake the entire cloud. That's the top and the bottom border of the cloud. And when you're inside, oh, you're part of CCT. All right. Well, I just want to know your name. Am I in the wrong? Here, let me see something. Hold on. Give me just a second. I want to make sure I'm set up on the right chat. Man, they don't give you. Let me see something. Hold on one second. No, I think I am. No, that's it. I'm in the right place. I'm just trying to find out exactly who you are. Who are you? Like, what's your name? That's what I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to find out because I want to know who I'm talking to whenever I'm talking to people on here. If you are leaving comments, I just want to make sure I know exactly who I'm talking to because if you have an issue with the Fibonacci or you have issues with this or that, I want to know exactly what I need to focus on when we talk. So it's not like I'm trying to single you out. I'm just trying to make sure. I was just trying to make sure I was in the right chat as well. So I have a lot of different chat groups or groups I chat with occasionally, and I thought I might have logged into the wrong one. It was just I haven't. Sometimes I trip out and do stupid stuff like that. But anyways, we have an issue. We are at an impasse with this dang cloud. The cloud is the issue with the chart right now. The daily cloud. The daily cloud has always been a big deal, in my opinion. Todd, whenever I started learning about the charts, that's the first thing I remember in uh, his YouTube channel. He had the Fibonacci, he had all this other stuff, but I focused on the cloud at first. I figured the cloud looks pretty interesting. I want to learn more about it. So I learned a lot about it from Todd, and Todd taught me with the very, bada bang, bada boom. He doesn't skip around and try to dance around with all the extra stuff. He tries to focus on the main aspects of the cloud. If you look at the cloud, the top border and the bottom border are all support and resistance. So It's a little wacky of a. It's not like it's a straight line. The way the cloud works is it relies on previous price action to determine how the future of the cloud is going to look, and you'll have to account for that. And you know what I mean. If you see that the cloud is if we are approaching the cloud in one way or another, from the bottom or from the top, you will act accordingly. The cloud is a very hindering object. When you get inside the cloud, it's hard to get out. That's the way it's always been. The cloud is known for its hindering aspects of it. I'm trying to think of a better way to explain it, but they hinder the when you get in the cloud, it's not always the odds aren't in your favor. You're probably going to fall back out. Or if you enter the cloud from the top, let's say you drop into it, that's not good. The bulls are going to see that as a bearish event, and you likely will incur some sort of financial cost from it, I imagine. Now, it's not always the case. No, it's not always the case. But with crypto, it's a very, very shaky market at the moment, and you just have to learn to roll with the punches. Right now, we don't have any other choice. You can learn to trade a bear market, though. There's always ways to make money, no matter if you're in a bull market or a bear market. If you're a trader and you're only a bull, then you're only making money at the most 50% of the time. And that's not even always. Sometimes you'll only be 25% of the time because you're still bull and there's still bearish cycles in that bull cycle. You can't avoid it. There's no way. If you're going to be a trader, you need to learn to trade with a bull and a bear attitude. You need to learn to say, hey, it's not bullish anymore. I'm changing my attitude. I'm changing the way I do things. You know what? Until it turns back bull again. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm bull, I'm bear. I'm only bull, I'm only bear. That's not the way you need to be when you're a trader. You need to be versatile. You need to be able to change on a moment's notice. If you can't do that, then maybe trading's not for you. You need to understand that, hey, I'm entering this market. It's really shaky at the moment. I'm going to set my stop loss. I'm going to stick to the plan. And a lot of people don't do that. You need to be able to enter this market, enter a trade, and have a clear exit plan, which could include setting stop loss when you get to a certain point. And if that stop loss trips, you're out. All right. I do that quite often. That's probably about how 95% of my trade end. Now, I can also close trades myself. I do that occasionally. I expect you guys to do that too. A lot of people do it. If you're making money, I'm never going to step up and say, you're doing it wrong. Who am I to tell you you're doing something wrong? If you're making money, then who am I to tell you you're wrong? You know what I mean? If you're happy with the results you're seeing, you can only improve from that point. You'll get excited, you'll get happy, and you'll start improving on your, you know what I mean, on the things you're doing right. It's one of those things that I think it's not rocket science, but like I said, it's not hard to. I don't even think anybody's here right now. I will start looking at the chart in a minute. I was just trying to get people to show up. If nobody shows up, though, I'll be more than happy to just go ahead and start talking about the market. I was just hoping people would be here to ask questions. I'm sure people will show up while I'm going live. So, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm not going to push anybody. Like I said, anybody that shows up, I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the chart for a second. All right, so you see this descending yellow line right here that I drew. It started back here at the all-time high, 69,000 on the money, 69K, beautiful all-time high, right? Well, we've been descending ever since then, and that's what happens a lot of times. You'll hit a nexus point, and then bam, it's all over. You're dropping down to what? Where do we get to? Get all the way to around whatever this is. I'm gonna go ahead and go with this one. So you hold the arrow on the candle you want to look at the information for, and then up here you can see those lines, these red and green. Well, they turn green whenever you're over a green candle. But you can see this is the open of the candle. This is the high. This is the low. That's the close. And then it'll tell you how big of a gap there was in that candle on this number right here. So there's quite a bit of information you can get just from looking at that stuff. So I'm going to hold the candle on that, or hold the arrow on that. Now look up here where I just showed you. The open was 36,445. Let's see what the low was. 34,000. So we got down to 34,000 from 69,000. So what is that? That's about half. So we did drop about 50%. And you know what? That's totally common in cryptocurrency. If that would have happened to Apple, guess what? That would have been world news. Everybody would be freaking out. You know what I mean? If Apple dropped 50% in a matter of months. This had happened in November 10th, and we dropped down to 34K on January. So it wasn't even 3 months. That's quite a blow to morale, if you ask me. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where you just need to understand how crypto works. Cryptocurrency is not stock market. Stock market is a lot less volatile. There's a lot more money involved in the stock market, and then all the side things that are involved with the stock market. The stock market is a very different atmosphere. Even though the charts, if you learn to read a crypto chart, you should be able to read stock market charts as well. There's not any difference in the way things work. So like cup and handle, still the same results. Trend line, still the same. Support and resistance still works the same. So this course right here can help you even when you want to trade stocks. So I'm not sitting here trying to brag or anything. I'm just letting you know. A lot of people have asked me that in the past, and I figured I would address that. If you do want to trade stocks with the info you're learning here, I don't trade stocks. But like I said, you could still learn a thing or two from this course for the stock market. So if you wanted to enter the stock market, the stuff you learned from this course should help you. Have I ever traded stocks? No. But the general idea about how the charts work, how trends work, it doesn't matter if it's the stock market or crypto or oil or whatever. It all pretty much boils down to the same thing. So what we see here is we had multiple times where we tested this descending yellow line. And I know that it seems like a lot of people are like, oh, your imaginary lines. That's not an imaginary line whenever you have multiple tests of it. You know what I mean? I can't say this was necessarily a test, but that was definitely a test right here. Bounced down. We had another attempt to get up to that point, but the 200 MA stopped us. We had another test right here. That's definitely testing that resistance again. And then we broke above it right here. And once we broke above it, I mean, we had a chance not to do it. I remember seeing that. This is a daily chart. So I remember the day I saw this big red candle right here. It's not really that big, but this one that I have my arrow on. And I remember thinking, oh, great, we're going down. And I had my stop loss set, and it was set, obviously, right below this yellow line. And it didn't trip. So I went up with it, and guess what? I moved my stop loss up with it. So I had my stop loss set right here. Hold shift if you want the line to be straight. So you hold shift and you see what's happened. See how it's straightened out? That's because if you do that, it's a little trick. All right, so what I want to do is I have my stop loss set right about here. I'm just guesstimating where it was. I can't remember exactly where it was, but we had a bounce up. So if we would have dropped this red candle, if we would have dropped even more and fell and lost the support, I would have stopped. My stop loss would have hopefully tripped. I can't guarantee it would have. Sometimes they don't trip. I can't guarantee it's always going to do it. But when you have a coin like Bitcoin or Ethereum that has a lot of liquidity, then you have a better chance of selling in a drop like that. And that's what I'm saying. If you're trading, you need to make sure the liquidity is there. If it's not there, you're not going to be able to use the stop loss method that I use. You're going to have to plan ahead and way ahead, because a lot of these like I traded a coin called Campus Coin. It went up uh, 2x. So I bought it. Let's say I paid $100 for the coin. I had $200 worth. I was like, excellent. I'm selling. It's one of the first times I was ever successful in crypto with an altcoin, let's say. And so I started trying to sell it, and nobody would buy it. And I was like, what's going on? You know what I mean? I'm looking all over Cryptopia. I'm still a noob at this point. So I'm on Cryptopia, and I'm like, what's going on? You know what I mean? How come I can't sell this coin? It's because nobody's buying it. I don't care how much it went up. I don't understand why it went up 200%. But I do know that nobody's buying it. I tried to sell my coins at 200% of the markup, and nobody would pay it. The only time that my sell went through is when I finally went down to the original price I had paid for it. And after that, you're paying taxes and all that stuff. So it's like, man, what's the point? You know what I mean? It was just a very big disappointment. I know a lot of people have probably experienced the same thing. But all in all, I learned from my mistakes like that, and I avoided using Cryptopia after that simply because I'm a bitter person. Like I say, hey, you want to screw me over? It's over. We're not doing any business anymore. And that's just the way I am. You know what I mean? I don't expect anybody to do business with somebody that is not going to be legit or whatever. You know what I mean? Okay, so we have a breakup above this. When we broke this, it took months. Look, we were never getting above this descending yellow line. That yellow line was a thorn in the side of the bears. And look what happened. We had nice support here from in the past. It doesn't look like it worked very well here. Sometimes support is not always going to be perfect. But you can see it had numerous times, even though these candles have wicks that go below it, numerous wicks. None of the candles actually close below it till right about here. So you have numerous signs that this showed us support. At least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least 6 attempts to break through it. Even though the wicks went through it, we never closed the candle below it until this point. That's important. You need to understand how important that is. Because if you don't close the candle below it, it's not technically broken. It was just a vain attempt by the bears to take that resistance or take that support and make it into resistance. They never did it for a number of days. They had 6 valiant attempts and they couldn't accomplish it. So it's just something for you to notice. That is support right there, the yellow line. Even though it does get kind of ugly at this point. At this point over here, it proves that it was still support because look, we had a nice bounce right off of it, right here. It's beautiful. The bounce happened, and look, it was this is a triangle. So we have the descending part of the triangle along with this part that is shown to be resistance and support in the past. So you go with this and you say this is actually a triangle and it's going to burst out right about here, and that's what happened. If you would have bought off of this on that assumption alone, you would have made a nice profit off of these range. Now, can I guarantee it's going to keep going up? No, I can't. I can't promise anything. What I can tell you, though, is we have a very good chance at accomplishing what a lot of the bulls want. It's going to take a lot of effort on the bulls. So we need volume. We just need to break through this cloud. The current candles that I am looking at right now, they don't look very bullish. They don't look like they want to break into the cloud. We had a nice effort yesterday where we got all the way up to about $45,600. I'd say right around there. And that was a nice run. We entered the cloud. People thought, all right, we're making our move. But we dropped out of it. And dropping out of it was the whole idea. It's like, man, I don't want to see us do that. We still have the 50 MA below us. That's a big deal. What's going to happen? We're stuck between a rock and a hard place. We have until this point right here, February 14th, 2022. That's on Valentine's Day. I think that's on Monday. We'll know whether or not we're going to drop or we're going to break through it and enter the top part of the cloud. Now, when you're on top of the cloud, guess what? It's bullish. That's the way the cloud works. When you're below it, it's like it's raining. That's the way I always thought about it. I know it's stupid. Some people are like, "Why do you need to remember it like that?" I'm like, "Cause I'm a dumbass." But when you're below the cloud, I feel like it's a cloudy day. You can't see the sun. When you're above the cloud, you can see the sun and everything's clear. So everything's better when you're above the cloud. That's the way. That's just one of my stupid little quirks I do. You know what I mean? There's little things like that. The way you remember things at school, and that's the way I do things. And if we can break through this cloud, we have a very good chance to get above it. Getting above the cloud would be worth its weight in gold, in my opinion. When you get above the cloud, it drives the bulls crazy. They seem to enjoy it, so it wouldn't surprise me to see a little FOMO kick in if we can get above the cloud. This is the perfect opportunity to do it. Look at how thin the cloud is, and look, if we could go sideways, we could even go sideways through it. This 50 MA is not going to go straight up unless we do. That 50 MA is going to take a little bit longer to make it swing. And I think it's at the perfect point, though, to usher us through this cloud. Now, can I say it's going to happen? No, I can't promise you anything. I never will. I can't do that. I'm not clairvoyant. I don't know the future. All I can tell you is it's possible. And I can tell you one more thing. This cloud doesn't get much thinner than this. And this is the perfect opportunity. If Monday we're not already broken into the cloud, we have a very good chance of entering it through the side. And we've already done that a couple of times in the past. You know what I mean? Like entering it from here or whatever. But we have a good opportunity to end up on top of this. That's what I'm really hoping for. I want to see us end up on the top side of this cloud. Top side of the cloud is where the bulls are, and that's what we need. I'm gonna go to the I don't see anybody here yet, so I'm just gonna keep talking to. I'm gonna keep uh, going over the charts or whatever, and if somebody shows up, just leave a comment or whatever. Like I said, the bottom line right now is the 50 MA. Can we maintain the 50 MA? And if so, I don't. I'm trying to show you guys where I think it's gonna head. Okay, so the 50 MA, if we can stay above it, it's likely going to adjust course and go a little bit north, okay? As long as you remain above that 50 MA, this 50 MA is going to keep going up because you're moving the average up. As long as you're above it, you're moving that average up. If you're below it, it's going to be making it go down. Just like it did. You see how it's kind of shooting down the same yellow line that I have right here? That's because look at the candles. The candles were really ugly at that time. And they're still not in the greatest shape. A lot of people are taking a gamble here, and that's what the markets need. They need people that are willing to gamble a little bit, and you know what? People like that, there's no risk without reward, or no reward without risk. So if you're going to make money in this world, you're going to have to risk something, and you end up losing money sometimes. Yes, you will. I've lost plenty of money. So either deal with it and don't make money or learn from your mistakes and make plenty of money. You can do it. I know a lot of people that have. I'm going to keep bouncing back and forth to make sure if anybody's shown up. I just want to make sure that if anybody has any questions or comments, I get their questions or comments. I also have another thing. A lot of you people probably watch after I go live and you want to watch the live app. You know what I mean? And you can still leave comments or whatever. But let me tell you this. I was explaining this earlier to somebody. If you can get somebody, like let's say you have a friend that wants to learn how to read a chart. Oh man, let me make sure I'm on the right place. Somebody's messaging me saying they can't find me. Give me just a second. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, what a nightmare. I might have started going live in the wrong group. Let me see if I can find it, guys. Just give me a break. Give me just a second. I'm sorry. Somebody messaged me and said they can't find me, and I'm thinking, damn, maybe I'm not live in the right spot. I might have picked the wrong group. I hope not. This is a nightmare. All right, let me figure this out. Yeah, I think I did. I must have gone live in the wrong. Wrong. Give me a break. Come on. I might have picked the wrong group. This is great, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I did pick the wrong group. What a nightmare. Let me go live back in the other group. I was wondering why people were like, hey, I'm the first to comment